Hey guys, Beck here from NomadFly. Wanted to make a quick video to show you how I use Skyscanner. And Skyscanner is almost always my first choice for searching for flights. Not always for booking them, but definitely for doing flight research. And today I am doing some continued work on building the NomadFly network, which is going to be like a flight search engine, but obviously like geared towards nomads. So I'm looking today for really cheap flights, and this is how I usually find them. I start with a hub. If you've read my book, you'll probably see that there's a few hubs. There's lots more hubs as well, which I'm kind of on my way through, like working through. So today I've picked Cancun. And so how I usually do it, you can pick whatever city you're flying out of and do the exact same thing, but this is how I find cheap flights. So I've chosen Cancun as my my city. So we're gonna go everywhere one way. As you probably know, I recommend just getting one-way tickets around the world, just booking one or two at a time. And also using flyonward.com for proof of onward travel. So I'm putting cheapest month just because I don't really know when I'm going or who's going or whatever. I'm just looking for the cheapest flights. So everywhere, cheapest month, one way, and I'm going to search. So you can see that Skyscanner's come up with a whole bunch of different options. They are listed by price, and they're all one-way tickets out of Cancun. Now you can do the same thing but out of Mexico instead of Cancun. Cancun's kind of my Mexican hub that I always like to use. I haven't seen anything that's cheaper than out of Cancun. So there's a bunch of different places we can go, right? You can go anywhere around here, mostly Central America. What I try to do when I'm looking for really cheap flights is search for something that's out of the ordinary. So I would expect all of these top 7 or 8 to be like, you know, within $200 of Mexico, or yeah, around there. So I mean, you can see here that Canada is in there as well. So it is quite cheap to fly from Mexico to Canada and Canada to Mexico. Let's have a look at what cities. That's quite cool. So you can go to Toronto for $145 from Cancun, and then obviously move on from there somewhere. That's good to know. So actually I might, or Montreal, or Vancouver. Vancouver's not as impressive to me as Toronto is, just because it's on kind of, well, I guess Mexico, Cancun is sort of in the middle. Yeah, it's quite hard to get somewhere from Vancouver, but from Toronto you can get quite a few places. So that's good to know. I'll put it on my list. Let's say Cancun to YYZ. And where else have we got? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's forget about Canada for now. It's not really what I'm looking for. So here we go. Spain. Cha-ching. You can get to Spain from Cancun, which kind of makes sense because, you know, Spanish. For $238 non-stop. Zing. So okay, cool. I think I've already got that in my list. But that's really, really cheap, and that's exactly the kind of fare I'd use for flight hacking. So let's just keep going because there'll be another one. Lot of islands. United Kingdom, 346. That is awesome. Now, sometimes they have Belgium, but I don't see Belgium. Did you guys see Belgium? Random. Okay. Well, So you can see that the United Kingdom, where was it here, and Italy, kind of anything that's above $300 or $400, I don't really consider it to be, because once you add up a few of those, you're sort of looking at $1,000 anyway. So, and that's not as exciting. But let's see where we can go in the UK. London. That's random. Manchester non-stop for $400. Who knew? Well, that's worth the extra. Well, for me, that would be worth the extra few dollars to go on a non-stop flight. I'm going to put that. Cancun. Manchester. Glasgow, blah, 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 blah. Kind of getting more pricey. Cool, so I kind of stopped searching around the $400 mark because there's usually enough interesting stuff for less than that. And there is Peru there's quite a good fare. I mean, we're going Lima. Because flights in South America are usually pretty expensive. Yeah, cool. So you can see that this is like, Lima's way cheaper than anywhere else. And where else have we got? Just one last look. Honduras, Colombia, Belize, Bahamas, Dominican Republic, Virginia, and Spain. Yeah, cool. So that's probably all right. Milan and Rome, non-stop. Okay, that's pretty good. XL. Sweet. So that's kind of my research done for Cancun. So what I'm doing is mapping like the NomadFly network, so we can see like all the awesome flights that are less than $300 or $400. So if I was looking for a flight that was from Cancun, let's say to Europe, to another destination, obviously, as you guys know, I recommend booking one-way flights. So I book Cancun to wherever, let's say, I'm surprised they have Belgium in there. That's strange. So I would say Cancun to, look, I'll show you. Brussels. Cheapest month, one way. So this is kind of why I hope I don't speak too soon. But I have in the past seen some really cheap flights to Brussels. There you go, $291. Zing! So this is kind of like why I don't I recommend Skyscanner, of course, as like it's just so easy to do the searches, but there's a lot of stuff that doesn't appear unless you know where it is. So that's the benefit of the NomadFly network, is going to be like, alright, you didn't know this existed and now you can book it whenever you want, and it will make it way easier. So yeah, I've already got that on the list. So $291 from Cancun to Brussels, which is, there's now you've seen it, there's like 4 main kind of gateways into Europe from Cancun, and so that's Brussels, I guess Manchester or London, which are both kind of on the pricey side, Madrid in Spain, and Milan in Italy or Rome. So yeah, awesome. So let's say we did that. We went to Brussels. Now we want to look from Brussels, like as a separate ticket, to anywhere. Now the thing about Europe, right, is you can't search all of Europe. You can search like per country. So I could write like Germany, and that's almost a better idea. But if you wanted to, I mean, because everything's just such a short train ride, I think it would be really great to have like a within, I don't know, a certain amount of miles function, so you could say you're in Brussels, but hell, that could be close to the Netherlands or Denmark or Germany or France or like heaps of places. So at the moment you have to search those individually, but you will not with NomadFly Network. So cheapest month, one way, Brussels to everywhere. Let's have a look. I mean, I don't know if Brussels, I've never really done this, if Brussels is like a huge hub for a bunch of different cool places. Where can we go? These are all pretty predictable. Norway, Italy, Bulgaria, Macedonia, Slovakia, United Kingdom, blah, 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 blah. There's nothing particularly amazing here, but we're still at 33 bucks, so there might be, there you go, Morocco. Morocco for 33 bucks. I don't really know much about Morocco, but I know that Fez is pretty popular and there's quite a few digital nomads there. So let's say Brussels, Fez, and I'll do a proper version of this later on obviously, and when I map it, it will be more comprehensive. Switzerland, Turkey, Turkey's pretty good, but you can kind of fly to Turkey from anywhere in Europe. And you probably can to Morocco too, it just sounds different to me because it's on a whole other continent. But Russia, that's pretty cheap. See, we're still only at 100 bucks, and look how many destinations we've got here. It's like amazing. Jordan, that's pretty cool. Tunisia, random and awesome. Okay, you can go to United Arab Emirates. Wow, okay, there's a whole lot. This is really awesome. Let's see if you can do that from, I wonder if that's like a particular airline. Let's say Germany. So you can search from the whole of Germany and it will just tell you which city is the cheapest and to where. I'm going to go everywhere again. Nearly out of time for the video, and it's mostly just me being amazed, but I'll really quickly just see if there's anywhere else in here. You can go from Germany to Egypt for 92 bucks. Cairo, and Sharm el-Sheikh, that's awesome. Cool. And then, like, you do the same thing. So if I was searching for another flight, I would be like, cool, I've gone from Cancun to Brussels. Now I'm going from, you know, get a train to Germany or whatever. And then you can go to Egypt, and then I'd do the same thing. I'd just go, okay, Egypt. Let's say Cairo to everywhere. And just keep doing the same thing until you've built yourself this really exciting itinerary of really awesome deals. Alright, so we can go to Germany, Greece, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if we can go anywhere else that's like really interesting. That's not where we have been. I suspect there's some pretty cool African destinations. Kenya, 188 bucks. You go to Oman for 201, and then you get a really cheap flight to Bangkok. You know, like there's so many awesome destinations. I saw a flight from Oman to Bangkok the other day for 80 bucks. So that's kind of it. That's how I use Skyscanner. I just kind of get excited about random stuff and search for everywhere instead of the actual destination. Obviously, the price will be affected by the date that you choose to fly, and these are you know, searches over a long period of time. But I have found that the ones that are cheap, they tend to stay cheap. There's the deals, like they might get sold out, but they're available all year round. So that is how I use Skyscanner, and there'll be more videos to come, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Tweet me at Ninjapreneur if you have a question. Enjoy. Happy flight hacking.